Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wicked Art. It's Wicked here, and we're gonna do a little fun draw Friday. We just got done drawings, watching Wednesday on Netflix, so I thought it'd be fun if we drew Wednesday Addams. If you haven't seen the show, it's pretty good. Should check it out. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our head. So we're gonna kind of, obviously y'all know how I like to do things. We're gonna kind of stylize it a little bit. So I'm just trying to get, good chin and head shape. Okay, so I got me a head here, and I did it nice and light so that if we need to make adjustments, we can do so. I'm gonna draw a light little line down the center, just so I have my picture evenly cut in half, and then we can adjust things around it. So we're gonna start with our eyes here. And I'm just going, like I said, since we're stylizing, I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. And we'll come to the other side. I want to make sure I have like an even amount of space. So I don't want to go too much bigger than the other side. So let's cut that down just a little bit. Okay, and then I want to get our eyes in here. Then we want to kind of bring in our nose shape. So I'm just going to kind of put this in as a stand-in for now for our shape. And of course, she's never really smiling or blinking. So I really want that intensity. In her look. Now, obviously, like I said, I'm probably going to adjust the face, but I want to get in my eyebrows. And drawing them the shape that I'm drawing, I'll give us more of that stern look. Kind of like just a serious look to it. So it's not too, it's kind of a little expressionless almost. So let's kind of cut that back. And then now I can adjust my head. And this will just give us more shape. To our face. Let's see what that looks like. I think we're going a little too high compared to the other side. So let's kind of drag that down. Go ahead and get rid of this old line here. And again, we're going to try to keep it somewhat even. Okay, so now I have a nice even face. We can bring down a neck right in here. And now we want to start, we'll come back to do the hair, but I want to start building out the actual body itself. So let's go ahead and do her school outfit that she has. So let's see how big. We have our neck here, so let's kind of shorten it out some. Okay, and then I'm going to take it the other way. Again, we'll come out from the neck. Trying to keep it even here. Like that. Okay, and then she has her tie. So we'll kind of start here with it. And then we can just bring it out. All right. Now something else I want to do is we want to kind of bring out the jacket or blazer. So I want to kind of angle that. Let's kind of go more straight with it. Like that. And far do we want to take it down? We'll go about right here. And we'll have like a little fold over. Have that kind of come out from the back here. The reason why I'm drawing this line is it actually comes out farther this way. And there's just a change in color in the pattern. So I want to kind of do the same on this side. And we want that to kind of come right off collar here. Just have that come down. Like that, and then extend it. And again, we just have that set up that way. Okay. And then we have her kind of like an under shirt collar. So we'll kind of bring that out this way. And we'll go back and we'll put some detail in here. We have that way. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is we're going to establish the hair. Okay, so now Wednesday has like this divide. So what we'll do first, I'm going to come in here and we'll build out the ears. Do that on both sides. And again, you just try your best to just keep it even. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, just because when you look at most people's ears and pictures and stuff, they're not the exact same shape and size, but we can get relatively close to what it is we're looking for. Okay, so now that I have that established, I can come in here right next to the eyebrow and we can start coming in and adding in her hair. And we're just going to take that up. Sorry, I'm trying to decide if I want just to do it as like a big chunk. So like we could go this way. And have, let's go ahead and get rid of our center line as well. Okay, so now we have that. We can come back to the hair, get like a few like little separate strands here. Again, I'm going to come down towards that eyebrow there and take that back up. I don't want to go too crazy with the forehead shape. And same thing here, we can kind of come out just a little. And draw it that way. And kind of bring the head out some. What I want to do is get to a point where we can start getting the pigtail braids in there. Okay, so now we can start drawing braids. The thing with braids are you have to kind of look at how they shape and overlap and kind of pick and choose, you know, how you want to do it from there. So like I could easily come in here and just draw like the basic outline shape of it, and then just kind of add in like shading to it in order to make it look like we want, without having to draw each individual braid. So it gets smaller as it goes down. So as we get smaller and smaller, down to the actual here finish right in there. So we can kind of erase out anything that's inside. Like that. Okay. There is other things I want to change. Like I think we're coming out a little too far on the cheek there, so let's erase that back. You just reconnect that ear right there. Okay, now we want to come on the other side and we want to start doing the same. And just building out our braids the same way. Now you can choose pretty much any direction that you want the braids to go, because again, everything doesn't have to be even. You just kind of have to have a sense of like where you want the hair to go. So for instance, I can have it kind of start to turn here. Again, we can just bring it down to a point where we get to the hair's end. And again, just erase everything inside of there. Now, some other things that I want to do is her lips. We want to go ahead and form those. Okay. Now, if I so choose, right? Sometimes I like doing it. Sometimes I don't. It just depends how it looks with the image. But we can do the upper lip if you wanted to. Again, it just depends on you and your personal preference. Okay, so let me see what that looks like again without it. Still draw this little turn right here. I think I like it like that better. Again, that's up to you. If you want to actually draw the lips on there, that's completely your choice. Actually, leave that out too. Okay. Now, another thing I wanted to do was add. It's not a huge spoiler because you've seen it in the trailers, but I want to add in thing on here. I'm going to put his thumb right here. It's going to take this back towards the braid more. Okay. Then we want to get that nail. Right in there. And then we can work the rest of the thing around her. So we could see. So when I'm kind of like resting on her shoulder. So we can bring it down. So that'd be one of the fingers there. And have the other one start to build out. Make it slightly longer because it is the middle finger. Okay. Then we can come right next to the other one. Again, just kind of draw that same shape. I'm just kind of getting like a knuckle shape in there. Okay, and before I forget, let's go ahead and draw in the nails on here. Slightly turned right here, so we're just going to kind of angle it just a tad. Okay. There's 5 fingers, but I do want to go ahead and kind of finish up the rest of the hand. Okay. Kind of get that to go out towards the pinky. And have that one turned down. come out that way, like that. Alright, and then like I said, we can go in and add details to things later, but we'll just bring Wednesday's shoulder out here. Let's kind of round that out a little bit more. Again, we'll bring her shoulder out that way. Okay. So now all that's left to do is to just kind of refine and add details as we go. Now certain aspects of things we can just quickly refine by just going back over our lines, making them nice and solid. Okay, so that'll help it pop more. Alright, continue to work our way up the body. And if you have things like this where it gets, you still have some of your sketchiness left over, you can just adjust it by erasing it. Kind of pull that up, erase that back. Okay, so you can see by darkening the lines, it's going to make everything stick out. Okay, so here for the coat, take that down. I'm just erasing any sketchiness that I see. I'm not changing anything drastically. Okay. And come in here to the mouth. Now, next thing I want to do is we want to work in this nose. So I'm just going to kind of come around. And that gives us our nostrils. And you just want to be careful when you're working noses, just because if you go too big, it can kind of throw off what it is that you're doing. Okay, now the thing I'll do is right here on the nose, I'm going to kind of darken that by filling it a little bit. Okay, and then for here, I can thicken up these lines to make them look like eyelashes. So as I get farther away from the corner, I can thicken those out some and make it look more intense. Again, down here. Thicken those up. And give myself a pupil right in here. Okay, so I can refine that line that I made here and refine our eyebrows. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this. We're going to kind of thicken it up some. Okay. Again, I'm going to kind of just thicken the outer edge of the eye just a little bit. Again, get ourselves a pupil in here. Make it look a little bit more intense that way. Okay, so we got our hair. Refine that. Let's get our ears. Find our little hair strands here. Now, key thing with that too, when we get to the hair, is we're gonna be filling that in. As best we can, because I mean our hair is literally like raven black, so again I'm just gonna kind of refine the outside. Make sure we get this upper part too. Okay, so we'll just work our way around. Just by adding a little pressure, darken it up. Okay. We definitely need to refine up thing here. Nice solid line work. And again, I'm just simply tracing over it. I'm not doing anything crazy to the image. just keep on going over everything. Again, just remember, good art takes time. So if you're looking for your one-stop 5-minute shop video and you stayed with it for this long, you might as well go. But I mean, it's not, just go for the finish. Walk away now if you've stayed this whole time. But yeah, I like to do real time so you can see step by step how to do everything. It's not time lapsed or skipped over. Okay. All right. So some little details we need to do is we need to add in the stitching on things. So we're going to kind of draw a thick line that goes through, and it's real simple stitching. It's nothing crazy. They're just little lines. So we can just draw them through that way. Like that. Then from here, kind of how it goes back. Kind of thicken that just a little bit. Again, they're just simple tick marks, stitchings. Going into the hand, we have a slight stitching right here on the top. So again, you can just put little tick marks right into the hand. And then the interesting part is up here at the top. It's almost like there's this kind of like almost like he was created. So it's kind of folded over. And you have this kind of a cross stitching that goes over the top of the hand itself. If you want to get nitpicky and just like look really close, there's certain ones where you can see like where he gotten his finger probably chopped off and reattached. So again, it's up to you, what kind of detail you want to put in there. Okay. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in some shadowing. Just to kind of give it a little bit more detail to the image. So right here under the chin to a point. Like that. Other places too that we could get in some shadow. It's like right here on these collars. Especially here. Where it's overlapping. Like that, and then the parts where it's touching the undershirt. Again, we just kind of round those in. I'm just putting a few little extra details in here. She usually has like a fancy little design with her tie. It's got this kind of like a strange pattern on there, so we can put that there as well. Again, the sweater itself is kind of got like that, almost like a Naruto type collar to it. So we can add that in as well. I mean, if you want to get technical, I mean, we'd have to draw this entire thing and color it in black. Just because that's what she likes to wear. So that would take up mass majority of what we got, but we can do little things to kind of add detail without adding color. So like doing little things like that can kind of make it pop out as well. Okay, and then like this area here, and this area here. Okay, so you can see how it's like slowly starting to make her stand out a little bit more. What I want to do next is, get certain areas to kind of highlight that look on her face. So we want to kind of come under the eyes a little bit, and I'm lightly touching the paper. Lightly touching the paper and shading in the area around the eyes just to kind of darken it. Give her more of that intense look again. But also, show that she's an Addams, like maybe she inherited this aspect from Uncle Fester with that darker tone around the eyes. Let's go ahead and we'll do the other side. I'm going to try something though. I'm going to stay close to the eye on this one. On the top. We'll see how that looks, which one's better. So let's see how this looks. Just going around the eyes. We'll take it the full extent. Then I'm going to darken a little bit. Closer to the eye itself. Not black, just darker than the gray that I'm using. Okay. Now the tricky part is with the hair. Actually, first let's do this. Let's kind of shade in the nose. Give that a little bit more dimension as well. And we'll do that down in here. And let's get a little under the lip here. Okay. And then I could, I'm just going to come in here and shade the lips. Just because she's got that lipstick on, like her mother, Morticia. Got that kind of a dark red. Since we're drawing in pencil, you can only shade as good as we can, right? So let's get a little bit on the face here. And then I'm gonna thicken this outside of the face. Just so we have a smoother transition, so I'm gonna like lightly pick up my pencil as I work my way out from it. Okay. And then I'm gonna work the same on this side. Okay. So again, I'm gonna thicken up this side of the face. And then just kind of lightly pick up my pencil and have a little bit of build out. From that spot. We can do the same down here now. Okay, now for the eyebrows themselves, those are just black. It's got black hair, so it's going to have black eyebrows. Don't have to really do any fancy shading for that. We're just going to fill them in. Okay. So now that we have that, we can work in a little bit more of the shading right here that comes up to the eyebrow to kind of just close that off. Bring the nose down some, like that. And then I'm going to very, very lightly color her eyes in because she has brown eyes. I'm just going to lightly give it a pass. Now, if you want to leave all that blank and you want to go in and actually do it yourself, like color it, that's fine too. Okay, so we want a little bit of shadow from the hair. Just a little bit. Okay, so we just shade that in. Again, I can come down these parts where it's closer. And we can kind of darken those up. Okay. Now we do have to kind of do the same thing with her hair here. Okay, but the trick's going to be we're going to come in here and we're going to leave if you notice I'm doing kind of like a jagged approach to it. So as I color it in black, it'll leave a reflection on the hair. Okay. So again, I can come up, a little jaggedness. And do the same thing on that side. And see how that leaves a reflection on there? So we're just going to work our way up the hair and continue to do that. Now as we get bigger, so will the reflections and how much of it we see. So keep that in mind too as you're working your way up. And that's how we'll work the braids. Okay, so let's continue our way up. Let's see, we're starting to get pretty close to the top here. Gonna alter that a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna kind of focus more here. Okay. So that looks good. Let's keep going. Y'all have to forgive me, I got the hiccups still, so they take forever to go away. So if you hear me kind of a yuck like goofy a little bit, that's what that's from. Okay, so we're getting close to the ears. Now I do want to, I'm going to kind of thicken while I'm here. Just go ahead and we'll mess with the ears. Kind of go ahead and add our shading into that. And let's go ahead and we'll get this last bit of braid right here. Okay. So we have a nice reflective surface there. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to switch sides. Refine that a little bit more. And I'm going to work my way up again. And the only reason I'm doing that now is I like to take the things that take the longest and knock them out the way. Okay, so we'll continue to work our way up. Alright, and as you get used to it, you'll see you'll be able to move up faster. Once you kind of know where everything's going to be placed in your head, and like which points the reflections come in and stuff like that, you can move it a lot quicker through your picture. So it just takes practice and time. Okay, so we're almost up to the top here. Couple more braid layers to go. Now we can worry about the coloring and reflections. On the top of the head. Let's see how that looks. It's not too bad. So let's just keep going. Alright, so I'm going to have like just a slight bit of reflection right here. Bring that over to a much larger area that's exposed. And we'll get this last one. Okay, so again, I'm going to come in and work in some shadow work. On that side of the ear. Okay, so she's slowly coming together. We just got this big chunk of hair left. And the way we're going to approach that is we're going to do a slight reflection right here on the side of the head, just so we can show some divide in there, so it's not just all jet black. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing in here with the hair. I'm just going to start filling that in, and then once I reach a certain point, we're going to have a break off with the reflection in the hair. Same thing like here. Point. Have a little bit of reflection in there. Okay. On a much larger scale in here. And that's why I'm doing this up and down motion. It'll get some of that jaggedness in there that we want. So we can just kind of vary it up. And fill it in that way. And see how that kind of shows the turn of the hair as well, so we can kind of see it on the face. So we're going to take this side now, and we're going to do the exact same thing. So think of it like you're trying your best to keep it symmetrical. If you mess up, it's okay. Remember, always see your artwork through to the end. Don't ever just give up on it. And then you can learn from those mistakes. And just build on that from there. Okay, so we're going to kind of come up our hair here. Alright, and then we want to kind of do the same as we did before with this side. So I want to kind of make sure I bring that out. I go across. And as I reach the other side, I can just fill that in. Okay, now we have a few more spots, just right here. Again, I'm adding another reflection to it just to show that there is another piece of hair there. Okay, and then we want to do the same thing on this side as we did on the other. We're going to kind of come through here. And we're going to add in our reflection. Some variations to it, so it's not 100% the same. And we'll come down from the top. We'll do the same thing. Okay. Now, a few more spots. We can add some shading to. Just to kind of bring it out some more. It's right here on the collar. Again, I said that her entire school outfit is black and a very dark gray, so we're not going to really go in and try to do all that because that'll just drown out our image, you know? So little things we can do is just to add this shading to continue to make it pop. But not drown out our image with, you know, all black. Like I'm going to shade in that top area there. Add in a little bit down here underneath the tie. And same thing down here. Just kind of add a little shading in there. Again, we're not going for like hyper realism. We're just trying to make our image pop. So we're just kind of shading certain spots just to make it stand out. Okay, now one aspect we have neglected is obviously thing. So I'm just kind of adding in little subtle details on here. And then I'm going to shade lightly some parts of the finger. just to give it some more form. That way it's not so flat standing out next to Wednesday's image. So we'll just build that out. Maybe a few spots here. On the knuckles. Probably put a little bit more. Since this one's further back, we'll just bring out the shadow a little bit more. What we had it. Just hit up different spots here. Interest's sake. Again, some parts of the knuckles. I'm going to go very lightly underneath the fingers, just to give a slight cast shadow from that. And that, my friends, is going to do it for Fun Draw Friday. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. If you want to see more stuff like this, hey, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, leave a like. Help me help you by coming up with stuff that you want to see. Other than that, I appreciate you stopping by. I really do. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, favorite. Here, let's add one more little shadow right here. But other than that, yeah, just thanks for stopping by. That's going to do it for our Wednesday Fun Day, our Wednesday Addams Fun Draw Friday. All right. So till next time, keep sketching, and I will see you in the next one. All right. Bye.